topic from May to August cue card is describe a book that you have read many times. So here I need to talk about, I need to describe a book and the book that I have read so many times. It could be 3, 4 times, whatever it is. So I'm a book lover. Means if you say like such kind of things, whatever the topic is, I am a book lover, I'm a, like a regular travelers. So it relates you with the topic. So I'm a book lover, so that's why I read many of the book every day. But here I'm going to talk about the book that I have read many a time. That's a English book, and I would say that it was my first book that I have read in my life. It was written by Mr. Shiv Khera. That's a motivational speaker, and the name of the book is You Can Win. This is inspirational, this is motivational book, and that is a book, I think that is the first ever book published in my country in the English version. So that was the reason was different. First of all, I read this book just because this was in English language, and secondly, I read this book because at that time I was in my adolescent age and I wanted to learn something new. And I have read this book till now 5 times, and I remembered each and every example. Because of the example, this book was popular at that time. Even now, so many motivational books are available, but there is no comparison of You Can Win. So that's why most of the people, when they start reading any kind of book, I suggest the same. Even to many of my students, I have distributed the PDF so they can read. And every student has gained something new. Talking more about the book, this book contains around 368 pages, and every page is worth reading from the very starting preface to the last page, because this is not only book in English, but it also explains the meaning of some difficult words. So the cost at that time was 400 rupees. I purchased its first version, original version, the first time, and I still have that book. Though the pages are now yellow, but still I love to read it because I get the inspiration as well as the motivation. Whenever I'm in a problem or in a fix, I read the book, and definitely for any kind of example, I get the inspiration and motivation, and I find myself comfortable and out of that worst situation. So that's a book that I have read many times, and in future I would also like to read it again. So that's the end of the topic. Now you can ask the question one by one.
E-books are gaining more popularity nowadays. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, definitely ebooks are getting popularity. The number are various as people are environmental friendly. So that's why they don't want books to be printed, because it requires paper, and papers are from the trees. This is the first reason. The second biggest reason of the popularity of ebook is it's like easy to carry. One can carry in the phone, one can carry in the laptop. So it's quite useful, even you can use it anywhere. And the third reason is the ebooks are available with the colorful pictures. And picture exactly tell you what the story is about. So that's why the ebooks are popular these days. Yes, next question.
What kind of books do different age group like to read?
Means if you talk about the age group of the different age group people, the people have their own choices. If we talk about the children like to read the fairy tales, the Panchtantra story, that's quite popular in my country. So most of the children like to read that kind of books because they listen the fairy, they listen the hypothetical situation, and they enjoy it. And if we talk about the teenagers, they like to read some motivational or informational books because they are in their study mode and they want to learn something new, and these are the books that can teach them everything. And if we talk about the middle-aged people, like the people above 35, they prefer to read some business strategist book, especially the business strategist books, because they want to set up their business or they want to run their business smoothly. And talking about the last stage, the old age people like to read some religious kind of books, because at that age they think so that they are nearing to the death. So that's why they want to remember the God. So every age of people have their own choices towards that. So, yes.
What are the benefits of reading books?
What are the benefits of reading books? If we talk about the benefits, there are plethora of benefits. Starting from the language, yes, of course, a person is able to know what the language. Though you read the book in your mother tongue, still you have a lot of things to learn. Even some of the dialects, even some of the, say, for example, if we talk about the Punjabi language, Punjabi language is different from the people who are living in Majha area, Doaba area, and Malwani area. In the same way, like if you read the book in other language, you are a Punjabi speaker or non-English speaker, then you have a chance to learn that new language. You come to know about the dialect. Dialect means you come to know about the tradition through the language. And if you talk about the other benefit, of course, you become aware about the things. As like I told in my previous answer, the youngsters prefer to read the motivational books. Means they, of course, get the inspiration and they continue their study. So these are some of the benefits of reading books. Next.
Do you think people nowadays read more books than as compared to recent past?
Means if I make a comparison between these days and the past, people prefer to read books more as compared to past for a number of reasons. The first reason is because they are not having other source of information. If they have, means no doubt mobile phone is available, but that is not that much reliable source. So that's why. Another thing is, as ebooks are available with the pictures, with the colorful fonts, and people really like to read the books because they get information as well as entertainment. And even some books are so read friendly, even on the Kindles. Kindle is a software where most of the people read the books, and because it not only helps you to read the book, but it also read for you. Means audiobooks are there, so that's why people prefer to read books as compared to the past. His next question.
How children develop reading skills?
That's a suggestive kind of question. Children can read. Children can develop the reading skills. Basically, it's a personal question you are asking for yourself, I suppose. Okay, I mean, by reading the books, reading book is the first important thing. Like the children must know, and they can develop the skills by reading from the very basic, from the very starting. When children read the basic language book, I mean to say that informal kind of books, it is quite easy for them to understand. For example, if any non-native English speaker read the translation version of the native book, suppose if any book is written by any Punjabi author and you are reading the translation version of the same book, then there are chances that you understand the language better, because the language of English author is always difficult than the other author. So this is the first way. Second thing is, when the people go for the reading, they must have a time frame. They must have a stopwatch while reading the book. They must go for the active reading, I would say that. Active reading means to say that they must have a time and they must complete 1 page or 2 page, whatever their target is. They must complete it in the given time, and if possible, they must try to write on the summary of those 2 pages. In this way, they will be able to know the things. Yes, they have understood the things, and they are able to make the other people also understand. So these are some of the things according to me, or suggestions according to me, one can improve the reading skills. Next.
Often people are inspired with books in your country. How and why?
Yes, in my country, people often inspire from the books. As I have taken the example in my cue card, the books written by Shiv Khera. That's a motivational book, inspirational book, and millions of people who read the book, they get the inspiration. and when they read the example, they try to implement the same kind of example. And even many of the youngsters, when they follow the path told by Mr. Shiv Khera in his book, they really get the magical experience. And if you talk about the why, the reason, because they are actually in need of learning something. Because only those people read the books who intend to learn something new. Because books reading is not a compulsion in any culture, but only those people read the book who really want to get the information. So that's why people read the book and the information they get.